I put it on my slideshow and then I want to present it to class.
Oh, nice. Sounds exciting. Alrighty, go for it.
My first question is, why did you want to be a vet?
Why do I want to be a vet? Well, I think when I was little I always really liked animals. So we used to live on a wee lifestyle block, so we had lots of sheep and cattle and pigs and dogs and cats. So it's probably started with being around animals a lot.
Yeah.
And then I think when I got to high school I really liked the sciences. So we did biology and things, and that was really interesting. So it just seemed like the right choice, really.
Yeah. What pets do you have at the moment?
I just have one wee dog at the moment. Her name's Pippi, and she's a Cavalier King Charles Poodle cross. So she's one of those fluffy little ones. And she is just turned a year old.
Yeah. What are your favourite animals?
What's my favourite animals? I guess dogs, I think. Yeah, that always surprised me.
What are your favourite animal to do surgery on?
I think cows, actually. I think cows are really cool because we don't put them under any big anaesthetic or anything. So most of the surgery we do with those guys, they're just standing up. So I think that's pretty cool, and they're just eating some grass, and you're doing surgery on them in the crush. So I think that's pretty cool.
Did you find the training difficult?
It wasn't hard, but it was definitely a lot of work. So learning to be a vet isn't necessarily that very, very hard, but you just have to do a lot of time management, and you've got a lot of information to get through. So.
Okay.
You went to Massey?
How many?
You went to Massey?
I did, yes. No, you can only train up in Palmerston North in New Zealand, so everyone goes through there.
How many animals do you see a day?
Oh, lots. Well, when I'm here in the clinic, I can see anything from 2 to 3 if I'm rostered to do surgery for that day.
Yeah.
To up to possibly 30 if I'm doing consults all day. And if I'm out and about doing largies, then you could see hundreds of cows a day. Especially this time of year, we're doing lots of jabbing and vaccinations and things for the large animals.
Yeah. And how long have you been a vet?
I graduated from Massey at the end of last year, so this is my first job here, and I have been here since December, so almost a year.
If you could choose any animal in the world to be as your pet, what would it be?
Ooh. I reckon giraffe would be pretty cool. Yeah.
Have you worked on some exotic sort of animals?
Nothing to that extent, but we get the odd turtle or some pretty exotic birds and things coming in.
Penguins?
A few penguins, yeah, we get a few sick penguins coming in, but you have to be a bit careful with the penguins on how much we do, because the Department of Conservation has to be involved in things, so you have to be a bit careful. But,
Sorry, these are your questions, Hannah. I just jumped in there.
But no, definitely we see a whole range.
What was your best subject at school?
My best subject, probably the sciences, so probably biology I think would be.
Okay. What is the most rewarding part of your job?
Just helping animals, I think. It's probably a bit cliche, but yeah, especially when you get those really sick animals in and you put a lot of effort into them and then they go home at the end of the day, I think that's really, really good.
Okay. What's your least favourite thing about being a vet?
Least favourite thing? Oh, probably cleaning up the kennels after they've been in overnight. Lots of stinky stuff to clean up. It's a bit gross.
Cleaning's a horrible part of any job, I think.
Yes, it is.
What's your least favourite animal?
My least favourite animal. I don't know. My least favourite animal. Depends on the day, probably. Maybe birds, I guess. I don't know. I don't mind birds too much. Birds can be are probably the most difficult animal, just because handling things sometimes when they're a bit stressed. So
And if you could be any animal in the world, what would you be?
what would it be? I'd love to be a cat. I think cats have pretty relaxed lives and spend all day sleeping. It'd be ideal, wouldn't it?
What is your motto for vets?
My motto for vets. Gosh. I think motto. I don't know. Just you probably do your best sort of thing, and I don't know if you put the time in, then you get the rewards at the end of the day. So yeah.
Do you like treating big or small animals?
I love doing both actually. Yeah, so I do 1 week for one and 1 week for the other, and they all have their different ups and downs. But no, I'm really enjoying doing both of them, to be honest. So at least in beautiful days like this, you can get out and about when you're looking after big animals. So yeah, but everything's always good, isn't it?
Yeah. That's all.
That's all? Oh, cool. Got enough information there?
Yeah.